first month I got paid, I was like, oh my God, I've actually made decent money. So first month was 2,420. I got that paycheck through and I was like, what am I doing in the UK? Let me book a flight to Spain.
Is that pounds? That's pounds, isn't it?
That's pounds.
Right. So USD guys, that's like I have to work that out. I think
I think it's
it's
just
above three. It's above three. It's like three and a half, probably a little bit lower, 3 to 3.5K in USD guys. Yep.
and then my top month was 3,390 and I was like,
Mate, that's insane. That's so good. So in the space of like basically 1 to 2 months of scraping 1200 in Bali, doing the night shifts, doing the dialing, in the space of 2 months of working together, you hit 3.3K, nearly 3.4K pounds, guys. So in USD, that's like 4K, right? Probably a little bit more in the space of 2 months. Okay, guys, this is another client interview for you. This is Charlie Schroeder. He's been working with me for quite some time now, and he's gotten some incredible results. I wanted to just hop on a call with him and just run you through his experience and everything he's kind of gotten from working with me, the role he's got, and the money he's made, all that kind of stuff. So you guys can get an idea of what to expect. Okay, so Charlie, first off, give us a little bit of an introduction, like a little backstory on yourself and what brought you to the appointment setting space initially. Like what actually brought you here in this realm?
absolutely. So I started off actually in a setting role, just through connections, managed to get myself on a decent role. You find though that you're working a lot of hours, it was low pay. You have to really find what's good for you and what works for you, especially your routine. So I was working on a role, it was quite long hours, and I wasn't actually getting much at the time for the time and effort I was putting in. So I actually quit that role and had a bit of a look around, see, okay, what else can I jump on? What is worth my time? And where really the authentic people are in this space. So obviously watching YouTube videos on appointment setting, how to get into it. And then that's when all of a sudden one morning I was looking at my For You page and Aiden actually came up. Now I was like, okay, this let me watch this guy talking to his camera. So then I watched a few of your videos and I was like, okay, these are not your typical Imangaji videos, all the great setup and selling you the dream. It was really authentic, straight to the point, really telling you where money's made and how exactly you can get it in a space because there is a lot of fluff, there is a lot of people selling you the dream. You have to really make sure who's who's not selling you the dream, but telling you exactly what the steps are to make that money. And there's a huge difference there. So yeah, I watched a few of Aiden's videos and I was like, okay, this guy is just straight to the point. So watched his videos for a few weeks and then I was like, okay, this I like this guy. And then got in touch with actually, I think I commented on a few of Aiden's videos saying how just straight to the point they were and how good this is for people just getting started in this space. So yeah, got in touch with Aiden. He had a chat with me about past role, what my experiences were, where my skill level is at, and what I'm most importantly looking for in my next setting role. So he told me about his program, what he offers. Obviously, at the time it was an expense for me, but I didn't think of it as an expense. It's if you take this risk now, you can have the mindset between how far this is going to set me back and what potential it can bring for me. So I was like, you know what? He's shown me the program, he's told me what it offers and how much support is actually there because there's a lot of people who, again, sell you the dream and then hide behind the curtain when it comes to the role. So managed to get on board with Aiden. And then, God, I was like, this support is incredible. You're not much influencers or gurus actually selling this kind of support. And so, yeah, managed to get on a roll. That was with a 1.5K base, which is actually unheard of in this space, to get on a roll. I mean, I'm sure people like yourself, Aidan, would think it's absolutely incredible.
Rare, man. That's rare. Like having a base salary in general is like it's quite hard to negotiate as a complete beginner unless you know what you're doing. And we managed to get you on paying 1.5K plus 30 per appointment. But yeah, mate, cheers for the like no, that's a really good breakdown so people can get an idea. But like just to get a bit more specific on where you were before, right? Tell us a little bit more about that dialing role that you were on, because I know you were on something that wasn't really paying you the money you wanted to make. I remember you were telling me at the time this, the lead flow is not that great. The money was pay per sell, the close rate was terrible, the show rate was terrible. You weren't really getting paid your worth. Like, kind of run me through what it was like working on that role and kind of what you're feeling at that time.
Yep. So, it was quite typical. Great team in place. I liked the role at the start, seemed very professional. But the more I started working for them, the more I started realizing, okay, something's not adding up here. I wasn't making much at all. I think the first month I made 1,200, and that was with a base, so not really much at all.
Yep.
You know, the hours were not ideal at all. They were pretty much all day, going above and beyond because I wanted to prove my worth. And yeah, it was just the more one thing I'd recommend is when you get into it, really understand, okay, what's going on and is this worth my time?
Yeah, absolutely. And you were in Bali at the time doing the dials as well, weren't you? So the
I was working night
times were
shifts,
crazy.
so I was I was I was putting a graft in. I was like, you know what? I'm running out of money. I'm gonna make this work. I did the hours, I did the night shifts, but there was an offer issue, and that meant that my work and my time was just going to nothing essentially.
Yeah, right, guys. So to give you a picture, so Charlie working night shifts, doing dialing, right, to leads that weren't really, worth his time essentially in terms of cash, making about 1,200 for all of that work put in, right, doing these night shifts in a very, in a place away from home. But you're away in Bali for a couple of months, like it's a different environment. To eventually working with me, getting a role where it's 1.5K base, 30 per appointment, right? Which is obviously fantastic. Just tell us a little bit more about how that felt to go from that transition, right? Number one, of having that 1.5K guarantee coming in every month with better leads. And number two, what we'd love to know as well is what has been your top month, like including everything, like the base and commissions, what's been your best month so far with settings? If you need to run us through that, both of those, that would be really helpful, mate.
Yep. So first month I got paid, I was like, oh my God, I've actually made decent money. So first month was 2,420. I got that paycheck through and I was like, what am I doing in the UK? Let me book a flight to Spain.
Is that pounds? That's pounds, isn't it?
That's pounds.
Right. So USD guys, that's like I have to work that out. I think it's,
I
it's
think
above
it's
it's
just
above three. It's above three. It's like three and a half, probably a little bit lower, 3 to 3.5K in USD guys.
literally that. So I got that through and I was like, wow, this is actually possible. I've just been sold the dream. And then managed to get myself out to Spain. And then in Spain, I was then dialing in the 30-degree weather, literally living the dream in the most authentic way possible.
Yep.
And then my top month was 3,390. And I was like,
Mate, that's insane. That's so good. So in the space of like basically 1 to 2 months of scraping 1,200 in Bali, doing the night shifts, doing the dialing, in the space of 2 months of working together, you hit 3.3K, nearly 3.4K pounds, guys. So in USD, that's like 4K, right? Probably a little bit more in the space of 2 months. How does it feel to do that transition that quickly?
it was unbelievable. And yeah, one thing I'd say is it's all about finding the right people in the space, finding the people who actually have good intentions, are really there to. There's a big difference between people looking to get paid and people actually looking to see you win and become successful and
Yeah.
actually having a good client come out of that. There's a huge difference there, which is what I definitely say to look out for.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, with that process, so it's very fast the way we did it. So you got very quick results, which is great. So it's like within a couple of months, you managed to do that transition. How have you found the process so far of me helping you? You went for the program, you had my one-to-one support. Just tell everyone a little bit more about your experience of the process and me supporting you through this journey. How have you found that so far?
Yeah. For starters, you need to increase your price because I can't believe I paid that money for that kind of support, which was incredible.
I
People are
appreciate that.
charging 2 to 3K to get a video of you telling me what to do. You were constantly messaging me, seeing how my role was going,
Yeah.
updates. You constantly asking for updates to see. can I help you out? Where you're struggling? What support can I give you?
Well, that's what I
It's
try to
far
do with
from a
one-to-one.
course.
That's what I try and do with the one-to-one side of things, mate. There's no point just putting you through a course and then like just saying good luck, you know. So I really tried to do that one-to-one side. So so glad you found the value in it, mate. But what was it that made you pull the trigger working with me? Because I know like you were a little bit skeptical. I know you said there's a lot of things and a lot of like crap in the space, which there is. So
Yeah.
when you spoke to me, what was it that actually made you pull the trigger for working with me? What was it that kind of deciding factor that made you go, yeah, let's do it?
Yeah. Well, I just remember one of the first messages I sent you. Well, we started talking and I just sent you a message going, mate, I've got the money. I'm not going to pay for someone else to tell me how to start appointment setting. I've been through this space. I know what you're doing. I know what you're here for. But we got talking and it was just you, you're there to genuinely see people win in the space. You're authentic. You've got the time for people and you're you're just very, very generous with the amount of support that you give people,
Yeah.
especially for the amount I paid. And it was just, I was like, you know what? This guy's putting lot of effort into me trying to take action and really seeing my intentions and knowing the skills that I had within myself. And so it basically just made out that, look, you've got the skill there. And once you get on board with my program, I'm going to help you win. And that's what we essentially did.
Yeah, amazing, man. Okay, so anybody that's on the fence, anybody that kind of started off with a little bit of skepticism like you did, and they're thinking of joining, but something's kind of holding them back, that fear, what would you say to them right now if they're on that edge? What would you say to them if you're speaking to them right now about joining the program?
Yeah, really understand the intentions of the person that is trying to help you out. I wouldn't say sell you a program because you are far from selling you a program. You were selling me you were guiding me on to supporting myself and really following my passion, where
Yeah,
my goals were, and where I wanted to be from 5 years now.
yeah,
Uh, I'd, I'd really say just if you're looking to take the jump, go with your gut and see who's really there to see us be successful.
yeah, yeah. Totally
And
agree.
that's really what it is. Really understand these people and understand not only where you want to get, but where they want to see you
Yeah,
is a
yeah,
huge one.
absolutely, man. Well, listen, guys, that's everything. That's Charlie's experience. And a quick note before I leave. The life that we are trying to live with the whole, making money online through appointment setting, making good money from your phone, that's something that most people can never achieve in their lives. Not many people do it, right? So it requires you to do things that other people don't do. So you have to take these risks, you have to invest in yourself, and you have to take the
I
leaps,
do
right,
just want
Charlie?
to add one thing
Yeah,
that's come
crack
up
on, mate.
when you mentioned that.
Crack on, mate.
A lot of people, well, I actually did it myself when I was first looking for an appointment setting role. I was like, how can I get a role for free?
Yeah.
I was joining school groups, I was joining Facebook groups.
Mhm.
It's don't just get on a roll for the sake of having work on your hands. There's a huge difference between getting on a roll and working on a commission basis versus getting someone's actual help that sees where you want to go. So it may be an investment, but how fast do you want to get to your goal is the question. That's where I'd probably leave it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Okay, Charlie, thanks for hopping on, mate. And guys, if you want to learn a little bit more about how I can help you do the exact same thing with my one-to-one support and guidance, there's going to be a link down below in the description, right, to book a call with me, and I'll show you how to do this properly. Okay, so Charlie, thanks for your time, mate. And guys, again, if you want to see how I can help you, click on that link, book a call, and I'll run you through exactly how I can help.